The bosses are away. How are we going to cope? In this episode of Foxy TV, we're going to be talking about how the business of Foxy Home Staging is able to function for a week while Jake and Phoebe, the co-owners, the bosses, are away. We're going to speak to Cassie, who's been left in charge, really, of operations, and Russ, who is in charge of the logistics team, to see how anything differs while Jake and Phoebe are away, how they're coping with any of the issues, what issues are coming up, if any. As small business owners, I suppose, when you want to go on a holiday, often that means, well, maybe I just won't take bookings. Maybe I'll just shut the business down. While that is an option for some businesses, and perhaps that was an option for Foxy, although I don't think it is when you've got a staff of over 25 to 30 people. So if you want to keep trading, if you want to keep operations moving while you want to go on holidays, how does that happen? Well, this episode is trying to tackle that question. Now, we're not speaking to Jake and Phoebe because they are away, and we want to give them space. I didn't want to ask them to record a video, but it would be good to hear their thoughts. So maybe that's for a future video. So we're going to have a quick chat to Cassie in just a second. Later on in the episode, I have 2 installs to show you as well, because this episode is a bit on the shorter side. So I wanted to beef it up a bit. So 2 installs to come, but let's first go to the warehouse to speak with Cassie.
Pretty much just had to shadow Phoebe as much as I possibly could, which wasn't nearly enough, but that's okay. She's very busy. It's just listening to how she takes phone calls, all that kind of stuff. All the admin stuff I already knew how to do. So it was just kind of all the little extra bits that she does that she just takes care of. I thought today would be rain, but so far so good. Yeah. And then pretty much just unknown things. So like if access doesn't go to plan and we have to go and pick up keys from somewhere, or if there's any delays and then the whole schedule kind of blows out, especially if we're relying on the boys to get back to the warehouse to load for the next day. If the day blows out, then that kind of rolls on to the next day. But so far so good. A little bit. I'm trying not to, because I want them to actually get a holiday in. Except, I mean, they keep replying to me, so they need to stop replying, and then I'll stop talking to them. Yeah, only a little bit. Only via like through Slack and that kind of things.
So Cassie's basically doing Phoebe's role while Phoebe is away. Now Russ is the logistics manager here at Foxy, so I wanted to speak to him briefly as well. So let's get his thoughts. From your point of view, how's your week or days looking any different, if at all?
It's not too much different, to be honest. I guess it's more the decision making if there's any issues that come up, but the week's been pretty smooth so far, so we haven't had much change. Also just organising the days. Fletcher's doing the schedule. If there's any furniture that needs changing, or if there's team allocation that needs changes, or if there's any job switches during the day, the 3 of us, I guess, work together to make it happen. But it's pretty much business as usual, to be honest.
So we didn't go into any great depth there, any great detail, but to know that it is possible to go away on holidays and have your staff run the business, it involves a lot of preparation and training and getting the people in place up to speed, and also that confidence to let go and allow your staff to do what they need to do, because it can be hard to let go of those responsibilities and trust that your staff are good enough, capable enough to step up when needed. So I hope Jake and Phoebe have been able to sort of take their mind off while they've been over at Elite Retreat in Bali, and also have a bit of a relaxing time. But I'll definitely be speaking to Jake and Phoebe on the next podcast about how their week went, and how more on how they spent time training up the staff and putting them in place, and anything else they want to mention. All right, 2 installs to show you. The first was with Caitlin. Let's go there now.
It was in West End, just across from the Montague Hotel. We went like blue coastal, but a bit traditional, so like a mix between the 2 styles. The only issues were probably that we needed to move a lot of their furniture. So they used to live there, and there was a gallery downstairs. I think it was a bit of a workplace and a living place. So we had to kind of move everything around to make it more livable in all areas.
And the second, where Millie was lead stylist at a townhouse on the north side of Brisbane. I popped over there right at the end. So let's have a look at that one now.
We're at Tagan on the north side, and I've done a 3-bedroom install. It's all come together now finally.
So there you have it, a bit of a different episode here of Foxy TV. It will differ when Jake and Phoebe are away. They're usually the central actors in the episodes. Some great episodes coming up. Got some really good content coming. So we'll see you back here next week.
Kathy, how are we doing?
Good. We've made it to the end of my working week as Phoebe,
Woohoo!
which is great.
Very excited. Was it full on?
It was very busy, yes. We had, unfortunately, rain this week, a lot of delays that were unforeseen and unplanned that we had to work through, but that's okay. Everything else seemed to go to plan, which is good.
Nice, we got it sorted in the end.
Yes, thank goodness. And now they're back from Bali, which is great.
Woohoo!